Sup nerds! So in today's video we're going to be covering our review of Deadpool and Wolverine. This is going to be spoilers ahead, so if you have not seen the movie, like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you do enjoy. But first, go watch the movie. If you have not seen the movie, go watch it. I'm going to be doing a lot of spoilers here, so please, I'm telling you, this movie's worth it. Like, I'll get to my ranking and everything in a second, but go watch it. But I don't want to take too much of your time up, so we're going to get straight into it. We're going to talk about the top 3 things they did right, the top 3 things they did wrong. We're going to throw some tier lists in there. We're going to do an MCU tier list ranking update since Thor Love and Thunder. That means 2 years ago, 11 projects we haven't covered, and my tier list has changed a lot since then. I looked at it, and I just laughed at how much my tier list changed. If you can see, I changed my outfit because the first day I recorded this, I blabbed way too long. The video was going to be like 40 minutes. I'm not trying to waste your time on my specific review. If you want to see more opinions on Marvel and all that, go check out my TikTok, same name, Geeko. Top 3 things they did right. The cameos, the jokes, and the soundtrack, dude. Except for, no Taylor Swift, but whatever. The point is, the cameos were on full-blown fleek, dude. We'll get to those in a second. I also have a complaint about the cameos, but we'll also get to that in a second. The jokes, fantastic. I'm gonna go over a few of them really quick. Peter in this movie was just fantastic. Him just joking around and just being Peter was awesome. We needed to see Logan referenced in this movie somehow. I didn't want it to ruin his legacy or whatever, or that movie, and it didn't. But they dug him up out of the fallen grave. The little Gossip Girl joke, pretty funny. My girlfriend got it. Of course, I didn't get it. I apologize. I'm sorry. Happy Hogan, the whole sequence showing up, calling himself an Avenger, Wade, joking around saying, oh, what is your superpower? Parallel parking? I can't believe Disney said, oh yeah, we're gonna let you say that Wolverine's joining the MCU in a low point. Calling yourself out. I hoped Disney let him do that, but they really let him go. Deadpool joking that the TVA's Taylor was a predator was really funny because we saw that in the trailer and we're like, oh, that was kind of weird. But the fact that he called it out was awesome. One of my favorite jokes in this movie is him running over to the camera, doing a headbutt and saying, suck it, Fox, I'm going to Disneyland. And oh my gosh, that was just so perfect because it felt like Fox had a grip on these characters, but the fact that now they're in the MCU is awesome, and especially Deadpool. I love Loki, so that reference to Eliath. Oh, is that Eliath from Loki Season 1, Episode 5? Awesome. Folding awesome. Deadpool saying he was trying to save Wolverine, and he just made an educated wish. That reference throughout the film, and finally getting Logan to say it was awesome. Also, the car fight, amazing. Wesley Snipes' blade showing up, and him being like Deadpool calling him out, and he was like, oh, I thought you were retard. And then Blade was like, I don't like you. And then he was like, you never did. And it's Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes in their past on Blade Trinity, where he reportedly did not like Ryan Reynolds. And I just can't believe he went up on stage on San Diego Comic-Con and did this movie, and they were just buddy-buddy. And it's awesome. Gambit just being in this movie was amazing, but Deadpool making fun of his Cajun accent, also amazing. Him saying, oh yeah, who's your dialect coach? The Minions? Because he literally sounded like the Minions. Because you can catch a couple words because that's what the Minions are. But most of it's just like, what the font are you even talking about? Deadpool joking that Hugh Jackman will be doing this role until he's 90. He wasn't talking to Wolverine because Wolverine's like 200. He was talking to Hugh. Again, just Deadpool's beef with Nicepool was just amazing. And he was like, oh, sorry, eh? Oh, sorry. Oh, my gosh. And then Dogpool showing up and, making him feel all better. And then he's like, oh, no, why are you here? Deadpool stalling in front of Wolverine, going down the steps. Or flying like Superman, whatever. And he was like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to die. It's, a really cool moment for him. And just the cherry on top was Deadpool finally calling out Johnny that he said all that stuff about Cassandra Nova, and he was like, oh my gosh, girl, that's great, you're crazy, or whatever. That was hilarious. And if you go watch that part back, or if you go see the movie again, you can realize that Johnny's like, oh, please don't tell her. You just thought that it was like, oh gosh, what is he gonna say, whatever. But he knew exactly what he was gonna say. So that was awesome. And now we're moving on to the top 3 things that this movie did wrong. And I wouldn't even say wrong, I just think this movie was a Deadpool movie, and that's all it needed to be. And my problem was that it didn't have connections to the original X-Men or the new cast. because, like, I just feel like they should have showed up, but I think they will show up during Secret Wars, and it's going to be this whole thing, and Avengers are going to fight X-Men, and they're going to fight Doom, and it's going to be a whole thing, and the TVA is going to show up, and they're going to be really cool, because another problem was that I don't think the villains were developed enough. I think they should have been developed a little bit more in maybe Loki Season 2 or a series before this, because it just felt like there wasn't enough personality, and that wasn't a shot at... I can't think of his name, but the guy who plays Mr. Paradox and Emma Corrin who plays Cassandra Nova, it's not a shot at them because they do fantastic in this role, but I just think the writing for it, just there wasn't enough for me to care enough about the villains to make this jump over movies like Guardians 3 or like something where it's very heartfelt, and I couldn't put this above that. And yeah, it didn't really answer questions about the multiverse, which we've kind of been like begging for, so it's kind of hard to see a movie that's very into the multiverse but doesn't really explain anything. It just adds on another thing like, oh, here's an anchor being, and it's like, oh, we've seen like Nexus Point and this and that and whatever, and we just want answers. So it's kind of hard, but this is what Multiverse Madness should have been. But let's move on to the cameos. Let's run through the cameos. We have all of the Cassandra Nova villains. They're kind of like one-dimensional in this movie, and they really don't have any connections to Deadpool. Like, they don't really have like any interactions except for them talking about Juggernaut's like helmet and Johnny saying he's gonna juggle juggernauts or whatever he said. It was really funny. But the point is that they're kind of one-dimensional. So is the Deadpool and Wolverine variants, except for Patch. I think Patch was really cool, but it was kind of meh. Then we have Pyro. Pyro, again, was one of the cooler versions of the Cassandra Nova, like, little villains, but he had a bigger role in that, and I thought it was pretty cool. Nice Pool, again, was great, but I didn't really care for him. I was happy to see him get killed off, to be honest, but when he was there, it was funny. B-15, I love her in Loki and Loki Season 2, and she's just fantastic, and I can't wait to see more of her. Kid Pool, Baby Pool, and Head Pool, the Wrexham team that Ryan Reynolds partially owns. I think one of the players plays that character, which is really cool. Head Pool, I think, is Nathan Fillion, which is also really cool, and I think the two kids is Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's kids, and just hearing them talk and hearing them mess around was so much fun. This really felt like a family project. And then you have Matthew McConaughey playing Cowboy Deadpool. Amazing. The quick little sequence between Hulk and the original suit Wolverine was amazing. That little fight, I wish we got to see the fight, which is what I was like really begging for, but it's fine. They have Elektra. Didn't watch her movie, so I didn't have that much of a connection, but she was a cool character. Sabretooth, we needed that fight to be longer. Wolverine needed bigger fights with these characters. That was my biggest gripe with this. Happy Hogan showing up, denying Wade. Awesome. Blake Lively as Ladypool needed to be in this movie more. If she was in this movie more, would have been way up. Speaking of being in the movie more, Wolverine. Awesome. Him calling him Wolverine is amazing. We're gonna treat you way better than the people down the road or whatever. I really hope they bring him back as like a professor in the new X-Men movies, and he's not like a main contributor to the team. Like, I think this team should be focused on like a younger like generation of characters, but I do think he should be in it a lot and kind of just be that old guy that kind of shows up every once in a while. Then we have comic accurate short Logan, great, and then we have old man Logan. The shotgun shot just was the cherry on top, dude. So good. Dogpool, there's so many pools. Dogpool was just amazing. Every sequence she was in, amazing. Do not call her the ugliest dog, Britain. That's why I hate the Brits. I'm sorry. I apologize. We got past, like, cultural beef. I'm sorry. Nothing personal. And then we have Wesley Snipes as Blade. I have not seen the Blade movies. I think maybe I've glanced over them if my dad has watched them, but I have not specifically watched them, and this made me want to go watch them because he is awesome in this movie. He's so funny, and I hope we can bring him back in some sort of other movie. Maybe a Secret Wars. I doubt it, though, but that would be amazing. Logan's corpse. Is it a cameo? I don't know, but it's so funny, dude. And him literally killing all those TVA agents with his skeleton was awesome because in the trailer it was just a stick. And you see him grab the stick and it was like, oh, he's going to fight him with a stick. And then he grabs his bones and his hands and his femur and his skull or whatever. So good. Daphne Keane. They had her for the Acolyte, and I was like, there's no way they don't get her back for this movie, and they did, and she was so meaningful to Hugh Jackman, recording Logan, and just being in the character in the world was so important, and it was awesome. And her throwing on her shades she got at the convenience store in Logan, amazing. Just, again, cherry on top. Chris Evans coming back as Johnny Storm instead of Captain America. Oh my gosh. Couldn't ask for it to be any better. Again, I wish he was in it a little bit longer, but them killing him off and that whole joke sequence, amazing. And Gambit. Channing Tatum as Gambit needs to come back. I don't care about the rest of these characters. If he comes back, I will forgive everybody for everything, dude. Him going like this with all the cards just lighting up and then him throwing them and them exploding. And the Cajun accent, oh my gosh, dude. He was made for this role, and he has been waiting so long. Oh man, I've been waiting for this. Oh my gosh, so good. I could go on and on how many edits I'm watching on TikTok of him, and oh my gosh, beautiful. Just beautiful is what I'll say. Let's move on to the music. Now we're going to be talking about the songs. We have the soundtrack, and I'm going to go from B tier to S tier real quick. We'll ignore C and D for now. The Power of Love, great song. Glamorous, also great song. The Greatest Show should have been in the movie longer, should have been a whole sequence. We went over that. The Lady in Red and Make Me Lose Control with Dogpool, also amazing. I'm With You, also being great. Showing them just going through the void in the Honda Odyssey, also amazing. Angel of the Morning with him and Vanessa, just so heartbreaking, but also just so amazing. LFG, also a really good song, but it could not be the best song, even close in this movie, because, oh my gosh, they got some good ones. I'll Be Seeing You showing up as they jump into the folding sling ring, Doctor Strange portal in the void, and Elias finally going, and we're seeing him in the movies rather just in Loki, was awesome, and it was so beautiful, and that song's really good. You're the One That I Want, again, I love that car sequence, just so good, and the choreography in that was just so amazing, and them waking up at the end and just being like they had like a one-night stand, awesome. Only You showing up during the beginning where he's digging up Logan's grave, Iris showing up where he's about to land on that one TVA agent's face, and he was beyond happy, dude. I get it. Understandable. It's Ryan Reynolds. Iris also showing up at the very end of that movie where you have Deadpool and Wolverine walking out of the smoke and they're alive. It was really cool. Like a Prayer, I was blasting this folding song for months. If you can ask my girlfriend, for months. They used it perfectly in that one shot, that sequence where they were going through the bus and killing all the Deadpools. So good. Also, coming up at the end where Wolverine's shirt gets ripped off and they're saving the universe. So good. Bye 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 showing up was so good. Again, another song I cannot get out of my head. Oh my gosh, so folding good. The dance sequence and the choreography and the whole Logan sequence, like using his skeleton to kill the TVA agents. Oh my gosh, so good. And I didn't think it could get much better, but good riddance at the post-credit scene where they show the Fantastic Four and X-Men movies being filmed, and just the cast. The beauty of those movies were the cast. You can watch it, and people still love those movies, no matter how bad they are, because of the cast. They perfectly cast these characters, and they were meant for this comic-accurate world that the MCU is going to bring, and I hope a lot of them come back for a little bit, for a while, whatever they want to do. But, yeah, please, Marvel, do them justice, and let's move on to my MCU tier list for the first time since Thor Love and Thunder. 11 projects, 2 years. Let's go. So I've recorded this twice and I've blabbed too long about it because this is a Deadpool video. This isn't a MCU tier list video. This is a Deadpool and Wolverine video. So I'm just going to give you my quick synopsis on what I thought of the project, and I'm going to go from F tier to S tier in the 11 projects that I have not covered since Thor Love and Thunder. And Thor Love and Thunder is one of the ones that I switched, so I will be talking about that. But yeah, we're going to be covering them. And we'll do that in another video before Avengers Doomsday or before Fantastic Four or Captain America or whatever. We'll do that video one day. But I'm going to go through each of the new ones that I haven't covered yet really fast, and let's go. Echo, a project that they barely cared about, did not care to do a weekly release because they were not confident at all, and they shouldn't have been. You healed Kingpin's trauma, and then he just whined off like a little baby. I love the indigenous people stuff, and I think that was amazing. But that was it. She-Hulk kind of puts down Hulk's trauma. Just kind of weird half the time. Megan Thee Stallion twerking has an audience. I don't think it's a global audience. I think there's definitely an audience, and some people really thought it was funny. I didn't think it was that funny. But I do love her as a lawyer. I think she's great with Daredevil. Them battling back and forth is so much fun. Her breaking the fourth wall and rewriting the ending to that story. Episodes 1 and 6, the directors that directed those 2 episodes did it fantastic. The rest were different directors, and they were piss poor. Bad CGI, not fun editing with her comic book style. Fun. Iman Vellani is great in this role. She's the only reason this is bearable to watch and doesn't feel like a CW show, because it gets really freaking close. But Iman Vellani does save it a little bit. What if season 2? Yeah, it was fine. It was good. It was there. Then we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The movie did a lot of showing, or a lot of telling of Kang, but not showing. He wasn't that scary in this movie. He got defeated by ants. No really stakes. Scott survived. Cassie survived. Everybody survived. I can't wait to see Cassie in a Young Avengers project, but other than that, meh. Secret Invasion, I really liked it first, and then it slowly went down. It was a spy thriller. It was different. It was a different version of Marvel, a different genre, which they were doing a lot, and it kind of fell short. Nick Fury felt like 3 different characters in this show, and then he's a whole different character in the Marvels. The only upside, I think, in this frickin' show was Olivia Colman as Sonya Falsworth. I'm pretty sure that's her name. And she is absolutely fantastic. Then we have the holiday special for Guardians of the Galaxy, having Kevin Bacon come in as his Christmas present, and them not understanding Christmas was just a really fun and just sweet concept. It was a little, just freaking like our thing, and that's all it needed to be, and it was amazing. Wakanda Forever was a fantastic send-off for Chadwick Boseman and his honoring, and he loved this character so much, and he went through what he went through while working on this and working on a lot of different projects, and nobody knew, and I think they do a really good job honoring him. I think my only really complaint in this movie is that Shuri should not be Black Panther, and I think this movie kind of addresses that, but doesn't really change that, but I think for now she needs to be Black Panther, and she is taking on that role and is fighting for her country, even though that's not what she needs. She is fantastic as Shuri, and she is so good as Shuri, and I love the actor, or the actress, or whatever. She is great. Namor is really great in this. Just the cast is really good. I just think the story was kind of weird, and I don't think Shuri should have been Black Panther. That was my only really complaint. Thor: Love and Thunder, I had in like S or A tier in the last tier list, which is absolutely crazy. But I think my thing is that I was overlooking how many bad jokes were in there because I really liked the storyline, and I've lost a lot of people in my life, and that story with him and Jane was just really sad, and it really hit me, and Gore the God Butcher was absolutely phenomenal, and I think they should have shown him killing more gods, but they were like, oh yeah, again, same thing, Marvel, freaking show, don't tell. It's that simple. Then we have the Marvels. The Marvels is just freaking low-key fun. It is phenomenal, and I don't have really any complaints. What I will say is that it has the Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Luke Skywalker dynamic, a character that is new and fun and wants to learn. And then you have the older character, I don't want to teach him. And then you have the middle character, Photon / Obi-Wan Kenobi, saying, hey, you got to train her. And they all work together, and they all have fun. And it's a really just fun story. I don't think the, craziness of it is that, meaningful, but it is really fun. Werewolf by Night, I did not expect this. When this was coming out, I was like, oh, is this still happening? And it was. And they did such a good job. And the practical stuff, and everything, and the CGI, and it being in black and white and still being amazing the entire show, and it doing horror in a good enough way for the MCU before they could do a rated R thing, is amazing. And I can't wait for these characters, Ted, Werewolf by Night, and Elsa Bloodstone all to come in a Midnight Suns project. I'm stoked. Loki Season 2, I don't even know how to explain that. is just beautiful. And I'm going to do a video specifically just on this season. Every week, you look forward to the project, and there's so much it does, and it makes me realize why I specifically love the Multiverse Saga. And Tom Hiddleston is so good as Loki, and I can't wait to see that flops role where you have Tom Hiddleston as Loki being the good guy and RDJ being Doctor Doom as the bad guy. And that is just gonna be awesome. Guardians 3, you see Rocket be the main character through the stories, but you don't realize it until this movie, and you're like, oh my gosh, you finally see that trauma, and you get a little hint to it in Volume 2 with him and Yondu, but you see it in this movie, and just this found family is beautiful and amazing, and I love it, and because I love my friends so much, and this is what the movie feels like. It just feels like a friendship, family, togetherness, and it's awesome. X-Men 97 is a show that honors the X-Men 90s series that all those kids watched and loved, and now they're probably working on this project, and they love it, and they're finally getting the X-Men their frickin' comic accurate suits and telling those storylines. I think my only complaint for this show was it just kinda was like, don't do like side missions. That's all. Because the main missions and the main stuff were frickin' awesome, and seeing like comic panels on frickin' animation, just seeing that in the MCU was awesome. And now we move on to Deadpool and Wolverine. I have it there because it is a mess, but this movie is about family, it's about friends, it's about coming together, and the mutants are about being different. And taking that, and you can flip that on however many heads you want to. You can take so many different storylines and apply it into real life. But I just take it as being weird and being goofy and whatever. If that's how you deal with things, if that's how you deal with trauma, if that's how you just get through life and live and have fun, then go do it. Go live, because that's all it's about. And that friendship with Hugh and Ryan is just amazing. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so we can talk about San Diego Comic-Con, D23, Loki, and more. Have a fantastic day, and if you cannot have a fantastic day today, have a fantastic day tomorrow. I'll catch you guys later. Later, nerds!